And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are watching the 46 of David Bradford make his way around this large track here in Talladega, Alabama. A little bit of issues there. Had to do some reset real quick. Do apologize about that. Got everything underway, everything sorted out, no problems. David Bradford goes to the top of the qualifying board as of right now. Few other drivers out there on track. The man running in second, I should say, the 56 of Will Jones. Jeff Napier out there with a good lap as well, slotted in the third position. Justin Napier also out on track. Mark Truxell on track as well. So things beginning to take shape, take form out there. And just glad we got everything plugged in correctly and things headed in the right direction once again here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Once again, do want to apologize about the mishap and the misfortune. Thank you, everybody, for jumping over and rejoining us. We'll now jump on track and watch the 5 of Mark Truxell make his way around here. Truxell now running that bottom lane, and oh my goodness, I'm over here talking away and you're not seeing any of it. I got so distracted looking at other things, bit rates and things of that nature. Do apologize. Oh my goodness, I'll get my head screwed on right. Never a good thing when something pops up and kind of makes you scramble around. You get clustered and flustered, but we'll just leave it at that. Anyways, moving on, Bobby Hamilton Jr. and his 25 machine on the pit road, just kind of hanging out right now. Hasn't went out on track just yet. Let's see where Truxell will shake out when he crosses the line. And have to remember that start-finish line is a lot further down the track than a lot of these drivers are used to. And Mark Truxell only good enough for fourth. Looks like Hunter Kent and his 7 machine has made his way out there on track. Hasn't turned a timed lap just yet. And qualifying coming to an end. There you have it. My goodness, what a run we are about to witness. Things already moving very fast here tonight. My goodness, cars already hitting the grid. So going to get an early start, a quick start, if you will, to tonight's race. Gonna wait for all the drivers to start getting in their cars. My. Long race here tonight around this 2.65 mile track. 249 miles for the 1000bulbs.com 250 presented to you by Mug Root Beer. There you see him, man on the pole, the 46 of David Bradford. Your qualifying order for tonight's race: pole position, the 46 of David Bradford, followed by the 7 of Hunter Kent. Inside row number 2, the 19 of Chris Mathis. Outside row number 2, the 71 of Alan Dufries. Row number 3 tonight, the 5 of Mark Truxell in the 56 of Will Jones. Row number 4, the 40 of Jeff Napier and the 42 of Brandon Puffenberger. Row number 5 tonight, the 54 of Justin Napier, the 88 of Channing Blue. Row number 6, the 4 of Kaysen Plott in the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Row number 7 tonight, the 55 of Cameron Hagan in the 83 of Jason Spear. Row number 8, the 86 of Colt Ansley in the 32 of Darrell Spear. Driver of the 23 machine, Mickey Spear, will round out the field for tonight's race. And we have got a few things to get sorted out by the end of this race. We have a race within a race to get to the championship and a race to win the race. So gonna have to keep our eyes on a few drivers. Colt Ansley, Mark Truxell outside looking in. They're about 10 to 15 points outside of that top 5. Will Jones holding on to that last coveted spot for the championship run in 2 weeks at Homestead Miami Speedway. And it looks like as long as Chris Mathis starts tonight's race, makes a lap, I believe he is going to be pretty much locked in. Bobby Hamilton Jr. also locked in. David Bradford, he is pretty much locked in. Going to be very, very hard to knock off any of those top 2 or 3 drivers. So those final 2 spots are going to be highly contested here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Cars making their way off of turn number 4 onto this very long tri-oval, the front stretch. Very, very long wait to get over to the restart box. Field in the hands of your pole sitter, the 46 of David Bradford, and we are ready to get things fired off for the 1000bulbs.com 250 presented by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network, and green flag is out. Bradford on the gas. Heading off down now into turn 1, Hunter Kent trying to take that top spot, running on that outside lane, no help just yet. Top 2 on the bottom lane, Chris Mathis in the 19 with a huge push to the back of that 46 down the back stretch. They clear Kent, making their way halfway down the back stretch. Now Kent receives a little bit of help on that outside lane as it slowly starts to make its way back up to the front of the field. Do have a little bit of blink action going on there by one of the drivers out on track. Mark Truxell sitting in that 4th position. There you see him, 3rd car inside row. He's trying to get the job done, trying to stay up there where he needs to be to give himself the best shot at getting into the championship race. Will Jones also doing the best he can. There you see him, 3rd car outside lane, the 54 of Justin Napier right there running behind him. And down on the inside we've got Jeff Napier in that 40 machine. Few other drivers electing to stay kind of towards the rear. Darrell Spear, Bobby Hamilton Jr., all of those drivers back there. We do have 2 distinct packs already forming out there on track, from about the 12th spot on back, being led by Brandon Puffenberger. Those drivers are just a little bit off pace. They're still in touch, but just a little bit off pace, and I think that's what we're going to see for the majority of these opening laps. We are now on lap 3, and Bradford not giving up the spot just yet. Put both laps in his pocketbook. He's going to head to the house with them, no doubt. The 71 of Alan Dufries up wide right now, 3 wide in that very outside lane. He's going to lose a ton of ground as the field goes right by him. Looks like we've got one driver down on the apron, back up onto the track pretty much easily, no harm, no foul. 3 wide now for the lead, and look at Truxell go through the middle. He is doing what he needs to do to get the job done. Gonna motor past that inside lane of Bradford, still gonna battle for the lead with Hunter Kent. And down to the inside goes the 56 of Will Jones. He pushed Truxell up there to the lead, got clear, and said, "See you later." We are still 3 wide for second place now. Truxell still in the middle. Jones on the outside. And your pole sitter, David Bradford, falling through the field now in 5th position. Hunter Kent goes to the bottom with help from Will Jones. They cross right over Truxell and all the way down to that yellow line to take over the lead of today's race. The 7 of Hunter Kent gets a little bit loose there on corner exit, washes up the track. That's going to give the race lead to the 56 of Will Jones. These drivers not holding back one bit. Very long race out there tonight, but these drivers are not afraid of mixing it up, not afraid of getting their hands dirty. They are elbows up and pedal to the metal, working down the back stretch for lap 5. Your race leader, Will Jones, followed closely by Justin Napier, David Bradford, and Hunter Kent. Field making their way around turns 1 and 2, back down the backstretch. Lap number 6. Will Jones now thinking about moving to the outside. He does. We've got 2 cars out there looking at a 3-wide battle. Hunter Kent now jumps to the outside. We're going to have 3 wide racing up at the front one more time. Very, very early in this race, but these drivers not holding back, and they are trying to get the job done as quickly as possible. I guess they figure if they're in the lead, it's got to happen behind them. Cameron Hagan and his 55 machine, where did he come from? He's up there now running in that 3rd position, looking to the outside. Now has help from Justin Napier. Those 2 drivers going to try to go up and challenge Will Jones and David Bradford for those top 2 spots. Field still side by side, still doesn't have things sorted out just as of yet. We stay under green flag conditions as we come back to the line to start lap number 8 out of 94 for tonight's scheduled distance. 3 wide, 2 rows deep up at the front. These drivers, I'm telling you, they ain't scared of nothing. Down the backstretch once again, Will Jones still maintaining the race lead. Cameron Hagan in the outside. Excuse me. In that outside in the 55 machine. Do want to apologize if you hear any voice cracks or anything like that. Big time wrestling tournament this weekend in Concord, North Carolina. So I was down there coaching about close to 15, 20 kids. So screaming and yelling all day long at some wrestlers. Voice still kind of recovering. Anyways, back to the reason we are all here tonight. This action on track brought to you by Superior Class Auto Racing on Superior Class Auto Racing on iRacing.com. World's #1 racing simulator. If you want to drive it, they've got it. It's a lot cheaper too. Just saying. We still see those 2 distinct packs out here early at Talladega Super Speedway. Colt Ansley back there with Brandon Puffenberger, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Alan Dufries, Jason Spear, Mickey Spear, Darrell Spear. It's the Spear clan. They're back there heading up the rear of the field. I say heading up the rear. They're only 2 seconds off and everybody knows a track like this, super speedway, plate race, 2 seconds is nothing. Still side by side up at the front for the race lead, the 56 of Will Jones and the 55 of Cameron Hagan. Those two drivers haven't sorted it out just yet, haven't figured out who's going to lead the race. Both of them still trying to get the job done as easily, as cautiously as they possibly can. That second pack slowly beginning to catch the lead pack. We're going to see 2 wide, now 3 wide at the front. Once again, the 55 of Cameron Hagan caught in the sucker hole as Will Jones is going to take it to the outside lane. I believe that is the 19 of Chris Mathis up there riding that high line with Will Jones. Not Will Jones, I apologize. Who is that? Who is that with Mathis? Oh, that was Justin Napier, actually. Will Jones leading this race. Paint scheme's a little similar, so, yeah, my eyes ain't the best in the business. And my goodness, look how all these cars came right back together. Now we see a lot of movement from a lot of cars as they run right up on each other's rear bumpers. 4 cars down on the bottom lane. When will we see those green flag pit stops here from Talladega Super Speedway? Looks like most of the drivers beginning to get single file down there on that bottom lane, and that usually signifies green flag pit stops ahead. Just as I say that, more drivers begin to jump back to that outside lane. So maybe just a moment of calm, a moment of peace and tranquility for these drivers out there. Still a very, very long... Oh! Big push and a big wiggle, big move there by Will Jones. He's able to keep it under control. That's going to hurt Hunter Kent on that outside. Oh, big push again. Hagman on Napier. Napier gets loose, able to correct it, keep it heading in the right direction. But look how much these cars are moving around when they're doing these huge pushes, huge runs. Just like that, Justin Napier shoved to the front of that inside lane. Big move to the outside once again. That's going to make Hagman use a little bit of driving skills, pull down to the middle lane, and close to that outside wall is Napier. He's going to get gobbled up by a few of the drivers. Hunter Kent now looking to make that third lane work once again. The 19 of Chris Mathis, he finds himself third car inside row. Still side by side racing 14 laps into tonight's scheduled 94 laps for the 1000bulbs.com 250 presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Some sights and sounds from around this great racing facility down here in Talladega, Alabama. And I had the beautiful privilege and pleasure of living in Hoover, Alabama. About an hour and a half maybe at the most away from the racetrack. Enjoyed two great races there. Man, just look at it. It's a thing of absolute beauty. Back around and through the tri-oval, your race leader, Will Jones, gonna try to make it another lap led for him. We have had 4 different race leaders, 3 wide, 4. Oh! Hunter Kit slams into the wall. That's gonna bring out your first caution here tonight, and that's going to put a lot of drivers hurt in the field. We'll back up, take a look at it with our turn 3 replay. Ooh, and just running out of room. We'll take one more look from above with our blimp cam. Not really up above, is it there? Blimp's a little low to the ground here tonight, I think. Maybe out of air, I'm not quite sure. Might be the hot Alabama sun. Oh, just contacting across the nose of Hageman. Hageman up into the wall. Mark Truxell into the wall. Almost ran into from behind. Oh my goodness, one more look at that from a different angle. Try to see what happens here. Just running out of real estate is all it looks like. Three to 4 drivers hurt severely in that one. We'll rejoin the race leaders as Will Jones catches the pace car. There you seen a moment ago the very hurt Chevy ZL1 Camaro of Hunter Kent, and that may put an end to his night. Mark Truxell, he may end up having to use that fast repair as he is fighting for his life to get into the championship race in the next 2 weeks at Homestead Miami Speedway. So, big implications there in that crash. Oh, and it looks like we've got a driver smoking heavily back there. Oh, and blowing up now. You heard the engine pop. You heard it let go. That is the 88 of Channing Ballou. Will he be able to make it to his pit? That's going to be a tough job there. And that may have actually been Mark Truxell, as he is very slow as well. Gonna have to wait and see how it all shakes out, how it all happens. We will see the race off of pit road as it happens here at Talladega Super Speedway. Looks like Colt Ansley did stay out on track. Will Jones comes off second. Cameron Hageman comes off first. David Bradford off third. An interesting little strategy here from Colt Ansley. 19 laps into this thing, he's going to stay out. He's going to lead a lap. That's going to get him a bonus point. And that bonus point could come into factor, could come into play by the end of the night. Have to keep in mind, he is only 15 points out from Will Jones in making it to that championship race, and is sitting 2 positions in front of Will Jones on track right now. So that could vote well for him. Obviously, still a very long race to go. 75 laps when we get back to the start and finish line. Probably going to be a pretty quick caution here, so we're going to be mindful of the situations, mindful of the crew chief, spotters, and teams. Give them a second to get things situated and underway before we try to head down and get a word or two with a few drivers. And let's see if we can't steal a real quick word with the driver of the 46, David Bradford. You got your ears on, bud?
Got your ears on, bud.
Hey, bud. I know we're one to go here. Pace car lights are off, so we'll be real quick about it. How's it feel out there on track knowing that you're pretty much locked into your chance to run for the championship in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know if we got any quick. I mean, it takes us, 5 minutes to get around this freaking place, but it feels good, man. I thought I was gonna have a nice, easy night, but I'm up here trying to help Will get in. He's real tight on points, and so no easy night for me tonight. My hands are up here sweating already. Gray hairs are growing.
I hear you, man. Well, we won't keep you any longer. Before we let you go, we want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of family working here tonight. Watching the race, and hopefully I can drink some more of this Crown Apple right here and get my nerves calmed down a little bit.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, broadcasters do take payment in Crown Apple. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Hit me up in the bus after the race, bud, and I'll get you all hooked up and taken care of.
10-4, buddy. Elbows up and good luck.
Thanks, sir.
There you have it. That was the driver of the 46 machine, David Bradford. He is, well, pretty much locked in this thing. He's not gonna have a way really to fall out of that top 5. Something extremely catastrophic would have to occur, and I don't even think a tornado is gonna stop it. Back up at the front, Hunter Kent will start on the outside of row number 1. Your race leader, Colt Ansley, bringing the field to the green flag for this restart. Long way all the way around here to this restart box at Talladega Super Speedway. Drivers getting ready to go. Green flag is back out, and we are racing once again here from Talladega Super Speedway. Hunter Kent with a good start on the outside. David Bradford still in tow. Will Jones struggling to get going a little bit on that inside lane. Looks like there's quite a big gap between a lot of these cars. A lot of cars pitted on 1 to go, so a lot of them are lined up down there on that inside lane. But it looks like a few drivers now jumping to the outside, and Hunter Kent jumps to the outside. Will Jones goes with him. Now back to the bottom for the race lead goes Jones with help from Bradford. Bradford in that Crown Apple, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is another Chevy ZL1 Camaro. Pushing him to the front of the field. Hunter Kent still struggling to get that machine wound back up. Bobby Hamilton Jr., look at that, the 25 out of nowhere to lead that outside lane. Now trying to come up to the front of the field. Running into 3rd position, Will Jones still has command of this race. Cason Plot all alone out there on the outside. He's going to fall back in line, and now the run with Hamilton Jr. is starting to fizzle out. 4 cars down there on the bottom lane, and Bobby way up the track that time in turn 3 and 4. He's going to give up a ton of ground as your race leader stays single file back across the line. Once again, we've got 6 cars up here lined up out front. That is going to be a tall order to pass all 6 of those cars as Case and Plot wisely ducks in to join that group. Chris Mathis just behind them in the 19 machine. And there you see Case and Plot jumping back out once again. Drivers behind them still double file back around the 12th and 13th position. And man, things at a frantic pace here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway for the 1000bulbs.com 250, presented to you by Mug Root Beer. And just to show you how close they're running, we're going to jump to a camera on board that 86 of Colt Ansley. There you see it just behind that grill in his Chevy ZL1 Camaro, and there you can see just how close they truly are. I mean, they are right there on top of each other. And that was not the right one, so we'll go back to the TV cameras, and we'll stay rolling with it. Now 7, 8, 9 cars joining that lead pack down on the bottom. Big move by Truxell in the rear. He's trying to make his way by the 71 of Alan Dufries. Looks like he's going to be able to do it. And that was a little bit of a, I don't know, kind of looked like a slingshot pass there. Great job utilizing the momentum for Mark Truxell. He's going to attempt it one more time down the backstretch. Not sure how that's going to shake out for him at this moment. Nonetheless, he's trying to make his way up to the front. Now Colt Ansley looking to go to the outside. He's going to get put 3 wide in the middle. Hunter Kent, Case and Plot to the outside lane with help from Mark Truxell. 4 cars down on that bottom lane. No help in the middle for Ansley. Looks like the 19 of Chris Mathis going to come to his aid. And we are still cooking here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. 26 laps in the book. 69 left to go. Long race. Who's going to get there? Who's going to get it done? And well, let's not forget who's going to wad it up. I don't know. All I know is I need a moment to open this Mug Root Beer here. And see, not just does Mug Root Beer sponsor the league, helping sponsor the race here today as well, 1000bulbs.com 250, but they sponsor me, keep me going here at night. And if I had a webcam, I would show you. Matter of fact, I might take a picture, put it on the Facebook page for you guys, just so you see. I ain't playing when I say I'm popping a Mug Root Beer. I just don't know how something that good has no caffeine in it. Don't understand it. Anyways, still leading this race, the 56 of Will Jones, now leading what should be his 20th lap of the race, with David Bradford right there in tow. Hunter Kent still trying to make that outside lane work. He's still got the 4 of Case and Plot right there. Chris Mathis helping with that outside lane. Now more cars joining the calls on that outside lane. Looks like Mark Truxell now going to look towards the inside, try to make his way back by Alan Dufries. Bobby Hamilton Jr. was right up there, charging to the front of the field, charging for first place. Now he finds himself all the way back in the 11th position. So a lot of different things shaking out here today for the 1000bulbs.com 250 from Talladega Superspeedway, presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Those four drivers on the bottom have been pretty much glued to each other for the last 3 to 4 laps. Hunter Kent has not given up on that outside lane. Justin Napier trying to make his way back up there towards the front of the field as well. Napier holding on to the 4th spot in the points right now. And that is kind of interesting. Not sure why Cameron Hagen's name is not being shown on the scoring chart. That is I don't have an answer for that one. We're going to have to talk to our technical director to get clarification on a matter of sorts, because I am not sure what that is all about. Nonetheless, doesn't change the fact that he's out there on track, 4th car in line, bottom lane, trying to make his way up to the front of the field. But Will Jones right now having none of it. He doesn't want anybody to lead this thing, as he has led 23 out of the 31 laps that are in the book so far here tonight. And these laps are clicking off very, very quick, and oh my goodness, looks like we're about to head off into some lap traffic. That is the 42 machine of Brandon Puffenberger now being put the first car 1 lap down. A little bit of house cleaning, as we mentioned that 17 cars took to the grid for tonight's 1000bulbs.com 250, presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. 17 cars took to the grid. 17 still at the track. 16 on track. 15 on the lead lap. Brandon Puffenberger in the 52 machine is the first car 1 lap down. Your top 5 shaking out a little bit of something like this by the last scoring line. Will Jones in the lead. David Bradford in second, Hunter Kent in third, Kason Plott 4th, and Colt Ansley in 5th. Those drivers mixing around as far as their spots are concerned, but staying consistently up at that top spot on the leaderboard. The 56 of Will Jones, he has took that machine to the front and has not looked back ever since. Down the backstretch we go once again. Looks like the 54 of Justin Napier falling behind just a little bit with Chris Mathis. Those two drivers will rejoin this race for the lead any given moment. It looks like they're just kind of hanging out, possibly keeping some air to that radiator, trying to make it last as long as they can, not have to worry about whether they can push. As we inch closer and closer to the halfway point here. I mean, we're right at it. Very, very close, as a matter of fact. About, I don't know, maybe another 10 to 12, somewhere in that range. Laps left before we hit that halfway point, and pretty soon Will Jones is going to start to lock up that most laps led award. And oh my goodness, looks like the 86 of Colt Ansley, he's going to have to hit pit road all alone. Colt staying out under that, our first and only caution. He's going to have to bring it to pit road all alone. That is going to put him well behind the field, well off the pace when he rejoins the racing surface. Hopefully, oh man, hopefully he can grab a hold of somebody somehow and try to get a little more speed when he rejoins this race here tonight. That is a tough break to have to pit all by yourself. Up at the front, still side by side, those two very familiar cars. Will Jones, Hunter Kent, David Bradford, case and plot, they've been basically just flip-flopping positions lap after lap, and that is a Chevy Z01 Camaro dominated front. I believe it's your front five actually are all Chevys. First Ford on track is that 19 of Chris Mathis. Next one back, Bobby Hamilton Jr. behind the 8 ball just a little bit right now. Mickey Spear all the way back in 14th in his Ford, and there is not a single Toyota out here at Talladega Super Speedway. Good old American muscle on display. And well, we all know where my loyalty lies. It's with that bow tie leading the race, leading the top 5 positions. So let's bring it home, boys. Working down the back stretch, lap 37. Will Jones still leading the race. Hunter Kent still trying to make that outside lane work. Just not able to get enough energy, enough momentum built up to make his way around that 56. Ever since Will took the lead, he's pretty much stayed glued to that yellow line. And now we're beginning to see the numbers grow on that outside lane. Could that be the deciding factor here on whether or not Hunter Kent can make it his way by? And just in front of these drivers, you've seen it in the distance, in the foreground, the 86 of Colt Ansley. Tongue-tied sometimes. The 86 of Colt Ansley, dangerously close. There you see him. He's not going to be able to stop it. He is going to go one lap down. Going to be scored the first car. One lap down. He will hopefully be able to snatch a hold of this field. Get in line with them. That's going to help his chances. Still going to be very rough for him to end up in a good spot after green flag pit stops take place, if we see those green flag pit stops take place. We also have to keep in mind the 42 of Brandon Puffenberger. He is about 2 seconds off of Colt Ansley. Both of those drivers are scored one lap down. So there's another in-race race for the lucky dog. And as of right now, looks like Colt Ansley's chances are fading away to make it into that top 5. Will Jones doing what he's got to do, leading this thing. That could, well, that would lock him in for sure. And I believe it was Justin Napier. He's battling for his life right now as well, running in the 8th position in his 54 machine. There you see him just behind Colt Ansley. So Justin having to have a good race here as well to secure his spot in. Mark Truxell doing what he can for his opportunity. 'There you see him, 4th car inside row. 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 4th car ins And you just got to ask yourself, I mean, at least I'm asking myself now, knowing that Truxell may have a must-win situation here to get in, how aggressive is he really willing to be? Still under green flag conditions here at Talladega Superspeedway. One and only caution out here tonight. Multiple lead changes. 33 laps being led here tonight by that 56 of Will Jones. David Bradford has been right there behind him pretty much since the drop of the green flag on the restart. Drivers snaking around a little bit now. Tires may be a little bit worn as we inch closer and closer to about the 25 lap mark on these fuel and tires. And now Mickey Spear, he is in danger of going one lap down. That's going to put 3 cars one lap down. Colt Ansley now has to get by that 23 in order to be the lucky dog. Looks like that's going to happen without too much of a fight or too much of an issue. Hunter Kent still digging on that outside lane. He has not given up on it yet. And Kason Plott has been right there. I want to say, right there by his side, but that's only if his side was the rear bumper. Cameron Hagan gaining some ground on that inside lane as Hunter Kent falls back just a little bit. Looks like David Bradford was thinking about possibly making that jump to the outside lane. He's going to stay tucked in behind that 56 of Will Jones as they make their way back through turns 1 and 2. Working lap 44 out of 94 here tonight. Only 51 laps left to go. And the 1000bulbs.com 250 presented by Mug Root Beer. Thanks for joining us once again. I'm David Worrell in the booth calling all this great racing action out there on track for you tonight. And do apologize, but we're going to step away for just a brief... Well, no, we're not. I thought I had it, and I don't. So we're just going to keep rolling. It's that simple. It's going to take a quick little water break, but we'll fit it in when we can. Is what it is. Racing action still going on out there on track. Still under green flag conditions. Only one caution so far out here tonight. There you see it. Only 2 laps. 8 different lead changes. We have had 5 different leaders out there tonight. So these drivers not being shy about pushing and shoving and making their way to the front of the field. There you see Bobby Hamilton Jr. just behind this front pack, running in the 9th spot. Tell you what we're going to do now. Let's jump on board with that 55 of Cameron Hagan. This is what it looks like to be the 3rd car in line on the inside road. Look at that crown apple. It's just making me even more thirsty. Oh, close off of exit. Now we're going to jump back here to the 5 machine of Mark Truxell a little further back in line, just so you can see just how much these cars are moving around. You can hear Truxell actually having to breathe out of the throttle not wanting to utilize the run just yet, not wanting to go anywhere with it, but you could hear him breathing that throttle from time to time, just in order to not run over the car in front of him. Things getting a little bit more dicey up at the front as the field has all re-bunched itself back together. Few drivers being scored one lap down. Colt Ansley, Mickey Spear, Brandon Puffenberger. Those drivers a little bit behind the 8 ball, but still in tow with this lead pack. When will they come to pit road is the question of the hour. I mean, they have ran somewhere in the range of 30 laps on this fuel entire cycle right now. 47 laps left to go. Are they trying to get it close enough for a one-stopper? That would put Colt Ansley and Mickey Spear in some danger should these drivers try to stretch this thing to a one-stopper. I do not believe Ansley or Spear would be able to make it from when they last pitted. But hey, you never know. Weirder things have happened at a super speedway, so yeah. There you still see the field being led by the 56 of Will Jones over David Bradford. Cameron Hagan still right there, third place inside lane. Hunter Kent running that middle lane, the outside lane, if you will. Gonna fall back now. Cameron Hagan gonna take away that third position. And it looks like Kent has finally dropped down in line. And it looks like we've got another driver coming to pit road. Not sure who that was just yet. Looking at timing and scoring, Justin Napier has come to pit road. So another driver coming to pit road by themselves. And Justin gonna need to run about 10 laps further than what he just did if he wants to make it this his last stop. And I'm not even sure if he can. I am not 100% what the fuel mileage range is here today at Talladega Superspeedway. And now we've got a lot of cars hitting pit road. Your race leader, David Bradford, follows him as well. Everybody onto pit road. Nice and easy. Hunter Kent on the inside. The 4 of Case and Plot. He's going to get to pit road, no problem. That's going to put the lead into the hands of this man, Mark Truxell, up here at the front. Cameron Hagan also staying on pit road. He is actually that third car, now make it the second car in line going down the backstretch. And Colt Ansley, very aggressive with that 5 car, trying to keep the speed wound up as Will Jones is down and away, getting his machine up to speed. And it's going to be a very, very close race to get back around. And it looks like Hagman, he's going to stay out another lap. Does Alan Dufries? No, Alan Dufries onto pit road with Mark Truxell. We stay under green flag conditions, and Cameron Hagan gonna be the final car to make his pit stop, and he is going to find himself doing it solo. And there you see the distance that was had when Colt Ansley came to pit road all alone, all by himself. Will Jones way out there out front. He's going to regain the race lead as soon as Cameron Hagan hits pit road, which is going to be this time by. And now Colt Ansley kind of finds himself in no man's land. Looks like Mark Truxell coming down pit road, or coming off of pit road, I should say, and indeed, that is going to put the race lead back into the hands of the man at the front of this pack. Just as I say that, Chris Mathis jumps to the outside with help from Bradford. That's going to move Mathis into that first place position. Big run by Bradford and Mathis to take over the race lead. They're going to gap the field just a little bit, but nah, they're not going anywhere. Will Jones, Kason Plott, Hunter Kent, Bobby Hamilton Jr., those four drivers going to close that distance very quickly. Be all on top of them. 4 against 2, 4 on the outside, 2 down low. Not going to have enough to hold off that fast 56 of Will Jones. He goes back to the point once again, working their way down the back stretch. Green flag pit stops are done. They are over with. And I think the man that's going to lose the most here may end up being Cameron Hagan, and that might help out Colt Ansley just a little bit. We'll have to wait and see how far Hageman drops out here. And Kason Plott, tough break for him. He finds himself all alone, now dropping to the back of this front little pack. Was running right there with Chris Mathis. Mathis right there hugging that outside wall lane. Up there next to that outside wall, running the Harry Gant high, wide, and handsome line up there. And you're kind of flirting with disaster when you do it. I mean, you're bound to hit it at some point in time. Granted, it may not be very hard when you do, but it's still going to be hard enough to more than likely damage something on that right rear quarter. So have to keep that right rear quarter panel very clean. The side force here at Talladega is probably a little bit more important. You see the side draft utilized here rather well to stall momentum of multiple cars. But right now, these top 6 drivers have broken away to a 7-second lead over the 7th place runner, the 54 of Justin Napier. Justin not looking like he's in bad shape. No drivers on the outside looking in, running in front of him. So he's keeping the guys that he needs to behind him to bring himself home with a shot at the championship in 2 weeks when we head to Homestead Miami Speedway. And 4 out of your top 5 championship contenders are running inside of your top 6. Justin Napier, you can go ahead and say 5 out of the top 7 if you want. It just doesn't sound as good. But, I mean, the cream rising to the top here late in the season, late in the race. We are more than halfway through this thing. Lap 58 out of 94. here tonight for the 1000bulbs.com 250 presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. 37 laps to go till we know who's going to head off in the sunset to Miami with a shot at a championship here for Superior Class Auto Racing on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. These drivers putting on one heck of a show out here tonight. Only one caution here in the 60 laps that have been put into the book. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. going to try his luck. Oh, big move back to the bottom. Was going to try his luck by himself. Thought better of it. Slots back in, fourth car in a line. These drivers continue just to click off the laps, looking at the fuel mileage right now. I do not think anybody can make it on fuel, so we're going to have to see another round of green flag pit stops. And will these drivers take fuel only? Or will it be worth the tires due to the amount of fuel that they're going to have to take? I don't know, and that's why I'm not on the box. I'm in the booth, crew chief, and sometimes just ain't my thing. Numbers. I'm pretty good with numbers. I just can't call them at a racetrack for some reason. But, hey, we all have our faults, right? David Bradford looking a little bit squirrely there, trying to stay in the tire tracks of the 56 of Will Jones. Hunter Kent still running in third. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and his 25 machine, that Ford, trying to break up the Chevy party at the front. And I tell you what, he's got help from another Ford driver, Chris Mathis, running in the 6th position. So, wonder if maybe these two Ford-powered Monster Energy Cup cars here in Superior Class Auto Racing, if they'll try to link up with each other and try to take on this pack of Chevys. Field clicking off the laps, inching closer to opening that fuel window. It will be open within the next 2 to 3 laps. And with that being said, will these drivers just take the fuel they need? If it was me and I had a partner to do it with, that is exactly the strategy I would be going for, as field is stretched out. We'll take a look back through as things right here have kind of settled themselves out. Justin Napier leading this next 4-car pack. Alan Dufries, Cameron Hagan, Mark Truxell in tow with him. Then we have to go further back through the field to find another little 4-car pack being led by Jason Spear, Darrell Spear, Colt Ansley, and Jeff Napier right there in this little group. And Colt suffered severely from pitting by himself. Came out the worst for the wear. Mark Truxell pitted by himself. Cameron Hagan pitted by himself. All of those drivers falling towards the rear of the field, way behind, almost 7 or more seconds behind your race leader, the man on screen right now at the point, the 56 of Will Jones. Looking back from atop, Hunter Kent's number 7, and there you see that 25 blazing red Marines Ford Mustang, piloted by Bobby Hamilton Jr., going by, and look at that. That is a pretty sight. Looking back across, seeing SimLab plastered in front of that Ford machine of Case and Plot. Then back there you see the Bass Pro Shops machine of Chris Mathis. Great look off of the rear of this race car. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody here at Turn 3 Racing Network. You guys have done one heck of a job with the cameras all year long here for Superior Class Auto Racing on iRacing.com. And once again, you have not let us down. We have another onboard camera to jump to. Let's go on board with that 46 of David Bradford. This is our gyro cam here at Turn 3 Racing Network, just to give you an idea of the banking. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I bet you, well, I know for a fact, if you put anything on the dashboard and didn't bolt it or glue it down, it would be hanging out that driver's side window, that's for sure. There you see, big push and then a breathe of the throttle for that 46 of David Bradford. My goodness, he is trying to push Will Jones even harder, even faster, but not sure he's going to be able to go much faster than he already is. Focusing on that 46 of Bradford at the moment, running in second position. Bradford has led a handful, and when I say handful, I mean 2 laps. He has given himself a point for leading a lap, so doing what little he can to ensure he moves on to the championship race. And as of right now, your top 5 heading in to Miami for the championship: David Bradford, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Chris Mathis, Justin Napier, and Will Jones. All of those drivers running within your top 7. So these drivers knew what was at stake here tonight, and they have driven their butt off to do everything they can to make it happen. 26 laps left to go here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway, and this race has been at an absolute torrent pace. Only one caution so far here tonight, and these drivers can make it from here on fuel. Believe some may want to buffer in a green-white checkered, but if we get another caution, they're more than likely going to hit pit road for some fresh tires anyway. Just like that, the entire pack, all 6 of your front runners onto pit road. Does everybody get it woed up? They do. No problems there on entry to pit road. And that may put the lead into the hands of the 54 of Justin Napier. he has help right now from Alan Dufries. Alan sitting outside of the points looking in. Cameron Hagman, he's got no dog in the fight as far as the championship contention is concerned. So these drivers pushing hard to try to help Justin do what he can to ensure he makes it to that final 5. Your top 3 runners electing to stay on track one more lap. Jeff Napier in the 40 machine staying out on track. Mickey Spear also yet to hit pit road for the final time here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. And the rest of the field has made their final pit stops. Looks like Will Jones only about 10 seconds in his box. Fuel only for him. Chris Mathis also looks like everybody pretty much only taking fuel. Looks like Mark Truxell may have been the one and only car to go ahead and take those 4 tires. And I mean, these 3 drivers right here, they have done an excellent job at keeping the speed wound up, keeping the momentum in the car. Will Jones only about 10 seconds from being put down a lap. So we have got 2 very interesting things going on here in the race right now. A little over half of a lap behind. Will Jones, the dominant car of the evening, led 57 laps here tonight so far, finds himself back in 6th place, 32 seconds behind your race leader. And what makes this even more interesting is the pit deltas. Should these drivers decide to hit pit road and take 1 can or less, they may be able to get on and off pit road, possibly up to speed in time to stay in front of Will Jones in the pack of cars that came to pit road with him. Mark Truxell now going down 1 lap, being scored the first car 1 lap down in the 12th spot. Bobby Hamilton Jr. running in 11th. He is close to being put 1 lap down. He is right at that 10-second margin in front of your race leader, the 54 of Justin Napier. This is all taking place during a green flag cycle. So look for things to get shaken up just a little bit more here before the end of this thing. And we are inching closer and closer to the final laps in tonight's 1000bulbs.com 250. Presented to you by Mug Root Beer, this time by 75 laps in the book. 20 laps left to go here from Talladega Super Speedway, live on Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching Superior Class Auto Racing, and man, what a night it has been. What a show these drivers have been putting on. Still staying on track are your top 3, somewhere around the 20 to 24 laps. On this fuel run for these 3 drivers, Mark Truxell has made his final pit stop. That 40 of Jeff Napier also making his final pit stop. These two drivers being scored, the first two drivers, one lap down. They will get their lap back as soon as these top three come to pit road because, well, they're going to have to. I don't think they can squeeze almost 40 laps out of their tank. And if they do, I think someone is going to be wanting the R&D department to tear down those machines and look for some hidden gas lines, because that will be a long time. Upwards of 45 laps for their final run if they should not hit pit road, which I just don't see how that's possible. Gonna check back with the drivers that have made their final pit stop. Here you see the pack of cars. Will Jones leading the charge. Hunter Kent in tow. Case and Plot, David Bradford, Chris Mathis, all right there with them. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. has now been put the first car one lap down. There you see him. He is trying to stay in front of Jeff Napier and Mark Truxell. And he had not quite sure what the issue with pit road was that time. Everything looks pretty close as far as time stopped in his box in the pit delta. So just losing some time here. And Bobby Hamilton slowed down the backstretch. Not sure what's wrong with Hamilton. That right front looked like it was locked up. Not sure what happened there with Bobby Hamilton Jr. Looks like he's back underway. We'll take a look back, see what may have happened, as there you see Hamilton back up to speed, ready to go. So not sure what the issue was there. It looked like that right front just locked up for a moment on him. Able to get it rolling, point it in the right direction. Well, it never wasn't pointed in the right direction, but Bobby Hamilton, veteran maneuver there. Noticed something wrong, pulled down to the apron, way out of the way. That right front locked up. Fortunately for him, it was able to continue on, and he's going to bring his Ford Mustang down pit road to the attention of his crew. $15 laps left to go here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. Your top three as they run: Justin Napier, Alan Dufries, Cameron Hagan yet to hit pit road. Drivers right behind them have already made their final stops. Will Jones finds himself 32 seconds behind your race leader. Mark Truxell right there, fourth car in line, trying to get his lap back the hard way before these drivers start putting more cars a lap down in the 19 of Chris Mathis. He's just off in the foreground, just up in front of your race leader. He's in danger of being put one lap down, and then Mark Truxell's going to have to battle with him to keep that lucky dog position. Things shaking up to be an interesting finish here tonight. Looks like we've got this three-car pack is what it's going to end up being when they finally do hit pit road. We have another three-car pack of lap down machines. Mark Truxell, Chris Mathis, Jeff Napier, will they work together, try to see if they can gain any ground on what's going to eventually be a 4-car pack for your race lead. Will Jones, Hunter Kent, Kason Plott, David Bradford, those drivers still grouped and running with each other. They are, however, 32 seconds behind the man at the point, Jeff Napier, bringing his group down pit road with him. Hageman almost into the back of him. Oh, and Hageman's going to go sideways into Napier, into the grass. That's going to spell disaster for those drivers. Oh, my goodness. Let's take one more look at that. Everything looking like it's calm and cool. Coming to pit road, no problems, and then Hageman locks it up into the right rear of Napier, and that sends those two drivers into the grass. They collect it. My goodness. Now, with this man right here, the 56 of Will Jones has to get by Alan Dufries. No problem there. 12 laps to go. Back to the point once again, the 56 of Will Jones, Hunter Kent right there, David Bradford. Looks like that is the 83, possibly. Is that the 83? That is the 88. It says of Channing Ballou. Channing had some issues, finds himself way behind his fellow drivers, scored 50 laps down, but he is holding his own. And that Hooters Chevy ZL1 Camaro running third car in lane, but he is multiple laps down right now. Hunter Kent running in second. Can he do anything with the man that has pretty much dominated this entire race? Will Jones now with 58 laps in the books for him. Or will Bradford make a run at it with help from Kason Plott? Colt Ensley now being scored the first car, 1 lap down. There you see him just behind the Ford car at the rear of this pack. Man, oh man, things gonna get heated up here very, very shortly. Gonna bring you something a little special here tonight in the post-race interviews. We will interview your race winners and then get some quick, brief words with a few of the other championship contenders. So don't go anywhere. Look forward to some great pre-race content here tonight on Turn 3 Racing Network, live from Talladega Super Speedway, Talladega, Alabama. The 56 of Will Jones leading another lap. Make it 60 for him out there tonight. 9 laps left to go for Superior Class Auto Racing here on iRacing.com. You're watching the 1000bulbs.com 250 presented to you by Mug Root Beer. And, well, things look pretty calm right now. What's going to happen in the next handful of laps? I can assure you these drivers are not going to stay single file and tucked up with each other to the end. Somebody's going to make a move. Well, they don't need to either, though. That's the thing here. Bradford doesn't have to win this race. However, Bradford pretty much locked in, so it's a free-for-all for him, if you will. Bobby Hamilton Jr. with some mechanical issues. He is down on pit road with the hood up, trying to fix on that machine. Will Jones, he's good where he sits. Even if he finishes in the top 5, he'll still be fine. Doesn't have to win the race, but why not try it? I mean, you've got two drivers right here at the front of the field. 2 out of the 4 front runners have nothing to lose, and the other 2, well, they only have a few positions to gain in the point standings. Neither going to be able to make their way into the chase even with a win, or make their way into the championship race, I should say, even with a win. So we're liable to see anything here in these closing laps at Talladega Superspeedway. Gonna look back, just check on Mark Truxell real quick, as he is one of those drivers with championship implications. Mark on the lead lap, being shown around 22 seconds behind your race leader. Just behind him, Justin Napier in his 54 machine. Jeff Napier also right there in tow. The 71 of Alan Dufries right on Justin Napier's rear bumper as they work their way off of 3 and 4 and back through the tri-oval. Not a whole lot going on out there on the track. Everything looks pretty calm and casual. And this is getting a little bit more interesting. These drivers right here battling for the race win. Well, they're about to run up on that 55 of Cameron Hagan. I believe that's who that's going to be, and that's going to put Hagman down yet another lap. So Hagman going to go from right there at the front of the field to being scored in 14th. 2 laps down. Hagman keeping it way up next to that outside wall, well out of the way. Nice gentlemanly maneuver there from Hagman as your race leader, Will Jones, continues to be the Pied Piper of the field here tonight. 64 laps in the books for him. How many more can he lead? Well, he can only lead another 5, because we're about to take 4 laps left to go here from Talladega Superspeedway, live on Turn 3 Racing Network. And, well, if you haven't by now, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash that bell over on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live with multiple different styles and platforms of racing content here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And it also, most importantly, lets these superior class auto racing drivers know you like, love, and or appreciate the racing action that they have brought to you here tonight on track at Talladega Superspeedway. And I mean, it has been a great race. I mean, we have had movers and shakers, comers and goers, a little bit of fuel strategy involved in there as well. One minor wreck caught up a few drivers, most of them able to recover from it. Some not recovering as well as they would have, like Mark Truxell. Finds himself running in the 5th position, but well away from your race leader. Mark was in a win in your in situation. Unfortunately, right now, not looking like that's going to work out for that 5 machine of Mark Truxell, and he's going to walk away, not heading into Miami with a shot to win the championship. Coming to the line this time by through the tri-oval bottom lane, being led by Will Jones. 2 laps left to go here from Talladega Superspeedway. Those 2 drivers on that outside lane are 1 or more laps down, so they do not affect your running order. But Will Jones and Hunter Kent like what they're seeing. 2 lap cars on the outside, 1 lap car behind them, keeping David Bradford and Kason Plott at bay. not having to worry about those two drivers coming up and challenging for the race win. As we work our way off of turn 4, back through the tri-oval to take the white flag. Here from Talladega Superspeedway, the 1000bulbs.com 250 presented to you by Mug Root Beer, and white flag is in the air. Man, oh man, what are we going to see on this last and final lap? Looks like Colt Ansley jumped down in front of your race leaders. And this is pretty much going to box those front 3 to 4 drivers battling for the race win. That's going to box them in where they're not going to be able to do much of anything. And if the run's going to come, it is going to have to come now. And I do not think Hunter Kent's going to be able to jump out there. No, as Colt Ansley jumps to the outside, moving out of the way. Back through the tri-oval and around the front stretch to the line. Will Jones will take the race win here from Talladega Superspeedway. Tonight live on Turn 3 Racing Network. Hats off to Will Jones and that 56 crew. He is going to the championship to fight for the crown. Post-race interviews coming up here on Turn 3 Racing Network as the drivers make their way around the track on the cool-down lap. We're going to step away for a brief moment. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with some of your post-race interviews here from Talladega Superspeedway.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Thanks for coming back and rejoining us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. It is in the it is in the bag. Things are over on track. We have had the opportunity to catch up with tonight's race winner, Will Jones, and that 56 machine, man. Dominating performance out there for you tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty good night, man. I had some help from some friends that were trying to help me. I was kind of on the outside looking in, as far as being in the chase at Homestead, and a bunch of good friends kind of helped me out, and I owe everything to them as far as this win goes.
Well, man, that was the next thing I was going to mention to you. You have made your way into that final 5 to battle it out for the championship in 2 weeks when we head to Homestead. Do you think winning here at Talladega is going to give you any momentum to carry over when we hit the track at Homestead?
Well, I sure hope so, but I tell you, it's gonna be a tough race because everybody that's in the top 5 deserves to be there. And I mean, they're competitive, they're fast. I mean, you can't overlook anybody in that top 5. I mean, it could be any one of the top 5. They're all good drivers.
Oh man, I know you're excited for the race win. Got some more points for leading the most laps, but I think none of that's really going to matter when we hit the track at Homestead. You got to beat the other 4 competitors vying for the championship. But Will, man, once again, great job at winning tonight's race here at Talladega. Before we let you go celebrate, want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, just want to thank Hunter Kent, David Bradford, Cason Plott, Chris Mathis. Want to thank all those guys for kind of working with me tonight in Shannon Blue. I mean, they helped big time, man. I appreciate them, and that's who I want to give them a shout out to.
All right, my man. Well, we will catch up with you at Homestead.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
There you have it. That was your race winner, the 56 of Will Jones. And it looks like we're now going to have the opportunity to talk to your second place finisher here tonight, the 7 of Hunter Kent. Man, congratulations. Good job out there. Tell us a little bit about your race here tonight.
First, man, I appreciate y'all for putting on the broadcast, and that was probably the most organized group that I've worked with in a while on a super speedway. We all had one mindset, and at least I did, and I was trying to help Will advance into the finals so he have his shot at the championship, and I think we got that accomplished. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun. You know, at first we were up there racing it out, and man, just people don't know how to race super speedways, and they don't understand the big runs, and that's kind of what caused that first wreck, is somebody sticking their nose where it didn't belong and just turned me in front of the field. But after that, we got the fast repair, and we were able to stay in line with Will, and after that, that's pretty much all she wrote.
Well, man, I know a little bit of a high note and a little bit of a low one here today for you, walking away in second position, but unfortunately not being able to make your way into the championship 5 when we hit Homestead next week. So I'm going to ask you something, might throw you under the bus a little bit with it, but out of those top 5, who do you think has what it takes?
Oh man, it's gonna be a heck of a battle. I know David's really good at Homestead. I know Will's just as good as well. But I mean, anything can happen. A wrench can get thrown to the plan, and anything can happen, especially with these 8 cars and the way that the draft works and the suck up. And basically, it's going to be about saving tires. So whoever could do that the most, I think, is going to walk away with the championship. I can't compete for the championship this year because I didn't race enough races. But next year or next season, I'll be competing for the championship full time. So I'm pretty excited about that, and good luck to all the guys at Homestead.
All right, man. Well, that was an excellent professional job at sidestepping that question. I'll give you some props on that one, my man. But before we let you go there, Hunter, once again, congratulations. Great job coming home in second here tonight. Would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous before we let you go?
Big shout out to Will for getting that win. Case and David, everybody, Channing, everybody that worked together up front, and then all the guys over at SimSport. Couldn't do it without them either. So, and then you up here at the broadcast booth. I know you had a heck of a time watching that show. So, we will see you in 2 weeks at Homestead.
All right, there you have it. That was your second place finisher, driver of the 7 machine. Now we'll see if we can't catch up with your third place finisher here tonight, driver of that Crown Apple Chevy Z01 Camaro, David Bradford. You got your ears, bud?
Yes, sir.
Hey, my man, talking to you once again, coming home with the third and final podium position here tonight from Talladega, but more importantly, you find yourself locked in. You were pretty much locked in as soon as you showed up at the track here tonight for that championship race in 2 weeks. Do you think a third place is going to build you any momentum, or what's your thoughts looking forward to Homestead?
Well, I mean, this race tonight was really about helping out Will and seeing if we couldn't get him in. And I don't know if I'd really call it a momentum builder. It wasn't really that great of a show, but it's kind of the way this point system works it out sometimes. But, just been doing what we've been doing all season. Top 5 after top 5. And I think that's like my 11th one out of 13 races or something like that. And consistency is what pays off in the points. And that's what I've been doing all year. Now I just got to go to Homestead and turn it up a little bit and get another win.
All right, my man. Well, I'm going to pit you against your rivals. Who do you think, if you had to pick one of those other 4, who do you think is the poison, so to speak? Who it is that you think you have to beat, absolutely beat?
I think it's the guy I've been racing all years, Chris. If I'm not on the pole, he was. And Chris is just real fast, especially at places like that where it takes a little bit to get around the racetrack instead of just running wide open. And I know he's going to be all over me, and I know Will's pretty good there too. So I know I'm going to have to watch out for Will, but I'm not counting out Mark or Justin either, because both of them can get around the racetrack, and circumstances are going to come into Homestead for sure. I don't think anybody's going to have a walk in the park at all.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on the third place finish here tonight, making it into the championship race as you're the points leader heading into the race. So congratulations on that as well. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Oh yeah, I think everybody that's watching, parents, everybody back at the house over there. I'm not sure Jordan Dollar watching. Thank you for watching. And I got to give a big shout out to Hunter and Kaysen. They really helped out Will there and helped him get him into the points. So, attaboy to that guy, and I owe them some Crown Apple for sure.
All right, well, there you have it. That was your third place finisher for tonight's race. Real quick, we're going to catch up with 2 more of your drivers that have made it to the championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway. Bobby Hamilton Jr., Justin Napier. Man, congratulations, you two, for getting into the championship race. I'm going to start with you, Justin. Had a good race going, finished inside the top 5. Do you think you're going to have any momentum off of this race heading into next week?
Man, all I can do is practice, and hope everything goes my way in race day. It's a humongous honor to be able to go to Homestead. I said at Daytona, I'm here to win a championship. I don't care if I don't win any races this year, as long as I make it to Homestead, and here we are.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations in making your way into that championship chance next week or in 2 weeks, I should say, at Homestead. Before I let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anybody important out there that was instrumental to your season this year?
Yeah, I'd like to start off with thanking the league for being an amazing league and promoting our drivers the way we do. And thank you for doing the broadcast and putting on a great show. Thank you to all the drivers for showing up every week and racing clean and hard. Thank you to all the fans for watching. Thank you to my family that watches. This was a hell of a race. I'm really happy to come in top 5. I'm really honored to go to Homestead. I got to thank my guys back at the shop for putting together a great Jack Daniels, Cameron Hagman photos, ZL1 Camaro. And I guess I'll see you guys at Homestead. Woo!
All right, on to another man that has slotted himself in a chance to chase after that championship. Bobby Hamilton Jr., man, congratulations. Great job in securing your spot at a championship run. What's your thoughts heading into Homestead next week, and who do you think you got to watch out for the most? Hey, Bobby, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
All right, but congratulations making it into the championship race at Miami when we head off down there to Homestead. What are your thoughts on that race, and who do you think you're going to have to watch out the most for in going after this championship?
Well, I'm going to probably pick either David or you got to go. Well, you got to go with the top 3. David, Will, or Chris. They've been in the show all year long. But as far as me being there, I'm a 7th place guy, so I don't know. I mean, it's it's you need to get Mark in here more than me because I didn't make the top 5.
Huh. I must have some points messed up somewhere then. Yeah, that is interesting. Well, I haven't talked to you in a while there, Bobby, so I guess it was good to talk to you anyway.
Yeah,
I've got to
good.
fire my statistician because, that's going to
I
put
don't know.
something.
Oh my God, I don't know if Mark's in here or not. I know he got out early, but overall, just being part of this league and being one of the admins here, these guys have really, really hustled. Mark, Justin, Chris, Will, and David, they deserve to be in the championship. You know, I know we didn't make it, but I really don't care about that. I just want to win races. So I don't know if Mark's in here or not. I don't know, but yeah, those guys, they need to be.
All right. Well, Bobby, I can assure you we will get this right with the secretary and see why in the world she wrote down what she wrote down. And we'll make sure we get everybody interviewed up and everything heading into the race next weekend. And once again, man, just congratulations on a great season, and look forward to seeing you at Homestead.
Thank you, man.
Well, just like that, it seems that somewhere, somehow, somewhere along the lines, some things have got crossed up, mixed up as far as the point standings are concerned. We'll get that all worked out, figured out. But for now, let's head off to the race results. Coming home in the top spot with the race win, the 56 of Will Jones, followed by the 7 of Hunter Kent. David Bradford and his 46 machine coming home in third. Fourth place goes to the 4 of Kason Plott. And in fifth, the 54 of Justin Napier. Sixth place goes to the 5 of Mark Truxell. The 71 of Alan Dufries comes home in seventh spot. Eighth goes to the 83 of Jason Spear. Ninth position, the 32 of Daryl Spear. Rounding out your top 10 tonight, the 19 of Chris Mathis. 11th spot, the 86 of Colt Ansley. And in 12th, the 40 of Jeff Napier. 13th position goes to the 23 of Mickey Spear, while Cameron Hagan in the 55 comes home in 14th. 15th spot goes to the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr., And in 16th, the 42 of Brandon Puffenberger. Rounding out the field for tonight's race, 51 laps behind the 8 ball, the 88 of Channing Ballou. And, well, that's the field for tonight's race. As I said, a little bit of something wacky with the points here. We'll get to the bottom of it here momentarily. We will have pre-race interviews with your top 5 championship contenders when we hit the track at Homestead Miami Speedway in 2 weeks. So once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching here tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and well, until then, have fun, do what you do, and just love life.